Joe King with LME Services, and today we're talking about why the hell is it so windy out here always. It's always a wind tunnel here. Today we're talking about Office 365 versus Google Workspace. Office 365, and that's the end of the video. I guess if you really need specific reasons, I can give you about 150,000 of them. Office 365 is an IT professional who has to administer these tools: email, data, access, delegating, 2FA, all that stuff. So let's say somebody leaves and you need to give somebody access to that person's mailbox. Seems like a pretty simple request that people will be asking for a lot. Well, in Office 365, the admin goes in, says give so-and-so access, or forward email to so-and-so, and it's done. It takes 30 seconds. On Google, I can't control that as an admin. The user has to do it. Well, the user's gone. So either you have to ask the user before they leave to do it, which is, if they get fired, they're obviously not gonna fucking do it, or you have to log in as that person. So I have to log in as that user, which means dealing with the 2FA. So I have to temporarily disable 2FA for them, which you can only do for 10 minutes. You gotta sign in as them, and then go in, then send a welcome email, which that person has to then accept, which either they might forget or not do it in time, so then you have to log in again and resend it. Security tools are basically next to nothing in Google. If you want DLP policies, or like people are deleting stuff or stealing stuff, next to nothing there. If you want to get alerted when strange stuff is going on, logins from outside of the country, downloading a bunch of files, next to nothing. Whereas in Office 365, you can create all types of security policies to get notified if someone's downloading things to their computers, if they set up a rule to forward emails, all the stuff that is usually an indication of a breached account. You can set up a policy and alert for that. With Google, again, administering it is just around. Let's say you want to keep an account around just as an administrator account, or as a contact, or as a login to SharePoint. You can have non-licensed accounts still in Office 365. In the case that, I don't know, somebody needs multiple administrator accounts or whatever. In Google, nothing. Every account in there has to be licensed. So that's a pain. Google Workspace doesn't have desktop applications. So the Microsoft Office suite is a freaking million times better than anything Google provides. So you want the Office suite for obvious reasons: Word, Excel, Outlook, PowerPoint. They're just better. And Outlook doesn't really work with Google's email, with Gmail. It's really clunky, calendars don't sync. You got all these weird misnamed folders on the left-hand side that you don't even know where they came from. So Outlook doesn't work with Google, which is probably Microsoft screwing over Google, but either way, it doesn't work. So if you like using Outlook or any type of desktop applications, Google's got nothing for you. And with Office 365, you have Azure, so you can do all types of control over devices. So if somebody signs into their computer with their Office 365 credentials, which is nice, right? 1Password for email and your computer, I can now deploy software, security policies, power policies, you name it. I can control everything on that machine. I can lock them out. I can remove things. I can push my other software. I can push antiviruses. I can make sure that you can't even access email unless our tools are on there. It's good. So the amount of administrative control and setting of security policies is a million times better with Google. Again, nothing a business should ever have Google, because they're going to end up using Office 365 as well. So what we end up finding is these companies have Office 365 and Google, and they're basically paying for an email license. For some reason, they still have the Google license. They'll be using Office 365 for their Office suites because people love it. So they'll be using Office 365 for SharePoint, for the file system, for OneDrive, which OneDrive backs up your computers. So that's the other thing, is Google doesn't give you anything really for a nice sync. I mean, they have the Google desktop or whatever. That thing sucks. And OneDrive, which you get with your Office 365 license, lets you back up your desktop, documents, compute, and pictures. Then you use that same application to sync your company files. So it's the one application which syncs to your computer, like a Dropbox or a box. You have access to all your files, it backs up your computer, and you have access to the company files. And is there anything better about Google? Is there any reason, one reason to use Google instead of Office 365? My answer is no. There's not one single thing that Google does better. Even one single use case. I can't even think of one industry or one type of people where Google makes any sense to use other than Office 365. It is literally worse in every single category. Migrating from one to the other is very easy. There's tools to do it. A reputable company like ours, anybody else, can move you from Google Workspace to Office 365 in a weekend, and boom, you got Office 365. Start using Outlook, start using OneDrive, call it a day. Get rid of Google Workspace if you're using it. It's a dreadful, dreadful product. It's not enterprise level, but it purports to be. All right, take care.